Move on to our next matchup as we have a sensational, going ahead and looking at a sensational second bout in the super lightweight division. Look, any one of these fights could very well be a main event in terms of any other show, but we bring these four fights together on Showtime pay-per-view on Halloween night. And incidentally, if I'm corrected, this is the third fight that Showtime is going to be having at the Alamo Dome or be broadcasting from the Alamo Dome. You recollect September of 1993, Julio Cesar Chavez pronounced Sweet Pete Whitaker. Then years later, over 20 years later, Canelo Alvarez, Austin Trout. Now we have Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz. But let's look at that super lightweight matchup between Regis Prograis, the former super lightweight champion of the world, and Juan Heraldez, as we are joined alongside by the undefeated fighting out of the Mayweather promotion stable, Juan Heraldez, joining us from Las Vegas. Juan, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. Juan, first of all, I want to ask you, you've been away from the ring since May of last year, that draw against Argenis Mendez. What have you learned since that draw as you go ahead and apply that to your big matchup against Regis Prograis on Showtime pay-per-view?
I learned just as far as take control more of the fight and don't let nothing sway, leaving it in the judges' hands, like 50-50 rounds, and just take all the control I can take over it.
And also, as you look at this fight, I'm looking at some of the odds, and I know you probably don't pay attention to them, but they have Regis Prograis as the favorite in this fight. Does that motivate you? Does it bother you? Do you feel like you're being slighted a little bit in terms of what you've been able to accomplish in your career?
I mean, on paper, he has more stuff on paper, but when it comes to skills inside the ring, it's a whole different thing. I mean, anybody can say how this and that, but at the end of the day, skills pays the bills. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Juan, we look forward to your matchup, and I will turn it over to the former super lightweight champion of the world, Regis Prograis. Regis, when I saw that you were a free agent and that you were out there, and Leonard, the one thing is I love seeing great fighters compete, but I got excited when Regis Prograis was a free agent, and I was like, man, oh man, I'd love for him to be fighting here at 140 on the PBC side. Well, ask and you shall receive. So lo and behold, Regis Prograis now fighting on the PBC banner against your man, Juan Heraldez. But Regis, for you, making your PBC debut, how excited are you to be able to introduce yourself to a new group of fans?
I'm very excited, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been wanting to come on this side for a long time, and it's finally happened, on this type of card. Like I'm very excited. Like it couldn't have happened like better for me, basically. Everything is happening. Everything usually happen like just always when something bad happens, something good always happen off of that, you know what I'm saying? So this is like perfect. It's like right there. I'm in Katy, Texas now. It's right there in San Antonio, which is a 2-hour drive away from me. A big fight town, and we having fans. This is the first fight that's gonna have fans now. So I'm super excited about this. I really can't wait. This training camp is kind of winding down now. After this next week, it's gonna start winding down, and I'm just excited to first off to be back, to be fighting on this card so big. And just to get back in the ring, and I my main thing is I always felt like I still feel like I'm the best in the world at 140. That's just how I feel, like the whole Josh Taylor thing. I went over there, fought in front of over 20,000 people. I still feel like I won the fight, but I definitely won't say they robbed me, because that's not what happened. But I still feel like I won the fight. But anyways, I feel like I'm the best, and I just got to keep proving it. That's all. So this is like another step for me.
So what do you need to do on Halloween night to once again prove to the world that you are the best at 140?
I got to be outstanding. I got to be the Ruger. I got to be outstanding. I got to have an outstanding performance, no matter if I go out there and try to stop him, or if I go out there and just have a good, like basically like a good boxing lesson. I just have to be outstanding. And I know he's gonna come to fight also, but I just got to be outstanding. That's the main thing, is just to be outstanding. And that's it.
All right, I will turn it over to Chris de Blasio, who has questions from the media.
Okay, Ray, thanks. We'll start with Jeremy Regis, fansided.com. Go ahead. Hey, Regis, how are you doing?
I'm a little tired. I gotta go train again in a few minutes, but
I hear you.
hey, I sacrificed to get on this call right now, but I'm out.
As far as on paper, you're coming off of a loss, but based on your performance, do you really feel like you're coming off of a loss coming into this fight?
No, just like I said, I felt like I won. I'm not gonna lie, I fought in a whole different country in front of 20,000 people. When I was over there, it literally, it's y'all know about like big crowds and stuff like that. It was 20,000 people. Everybody was against me. You know what I'm saying? So I came over there and I don't feel like I lost the fight. It was close. I won't say I got robbed, of course not, but I still don't feel like I lost the fight. So no, I feel like I said, I feel like I still, I won.
When you see a lot of the talk about Taylor, Ramirez, that sort of thing, and you're not hearing your name mentioned, is that serving as a motivator for you? And how much does it irritate you that your name isn't being brought in more?
Yeah, it pissed me off. It pissed me off a lot. I was number one at 140 for a long, long time. I used to open the ring mag. I got a subscription to the Ring magazine. I used to open it every time, and my name was the number one at 140. And I miss those days basically. So I feel like I have to get it back. I always prided myself in being number one, and I got to get back to that again. That's all.
One question for Juan. Talking about the odds being against you, I'm curious, how much did you study Regis's fight with Taylor, and what did you think about that? Have you watched it? Have you prepped for it?
I've only watched a couple rounds. I mean, he's fighting a southpaw. I'm a right-hander, so I don't fight like that, dude.
Gotcha. Thank you, gentlemen, and best of luck to you both.
All right, thanks, Jeremy. Let's go our next question from Andres Gomez. Andres, unmute, and you can go ahead.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I have a question for each of our combatants. I'll start with Regis Prograis. Champ, so I mean, this you get the big stages. Your first fight since signing with PBC. You're already on pay-per-view. What kind of opportunities are you looking to land, with this new venture of yours?
I mean, I talked to the man of the man the other day, and it's just like, I gotta, of course, first thing is I gotta take care of business. I can't look in the future. You know what I'm saying? It's always, you always want to look in the future and stuff like that, but I can't really look in the future right now. I gotta handle my business first. I know I got a tough opponent coming up, so I gotta do what I gotta do. And then after that, try to become, get into the superstardom. That's the main thing, So I feel like this is the perfect platform to do that, and I'm just looking to go out there, like I said, and just do what I gotta do. And I think they, I know they'll take care of doing what they gotta do.
Thank you, champ. And for Juan, you're coming off a tough fight with Argenis Mendez. Where the result was a draw. Why get back in there with such a tough opponent like Regis? Where a lot of other guys would like a slower route. Can you just talk about your confidence and what made you take this fight?
I just believe in my skills and my ability, my defense, my speed, my footwork. Pretty much all the things on the board, I feel like I'm better at. He's had his time at number one, like he said, but that was his time, and now it's gonna be my time, and it's gonna be my time to shine.
And to touch on that, actually, before the Mendez fight, he had actually asked me about fighting Regis, but obviously he was with Lou at that time, and so obviously we never could entertain that. He was already lined up to do what he's do. Again, this should be an outstanding fight. You got two fighters who are extremely motivated and has a lot to prove. Regis wants to get back out there and prove to the fans that he's the top guy in the division. And Juan has been seeking to fight him for quite some time. And this is a fight that he feels very confident that he's going to win. So, again, the fans are in for a great fight.
Nice. Thank you, gentlemen. And for Regis, how do you feel, knowing that this guy's been studying you for a while now? How do you respond to that?
It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Once you get in the ring, you can study all you want. You know what I'm saying? That's that. Can I curse? No, that shit don't matter. None of that stuff don't matter, man. Once you get in the ring, it's always a different story. Just like to quote the great Mike Tyson, once you getting punched in your face, all the plan goes out the window. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever. I'm not really worried about it.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. I wish you the best.
Okay, Andres, thanks a lot. Let's go to our next one. Xavier Porter. Xavier, unmute. You can go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, Regis? How you feeling, brother?
I'm a little tired. I told him I'm a little tired right now, bro. I've been training my ass off. I gotta go train again as soon as I get off this call. So
I feel you.
that's how it's going. That's it.
How alligators looking?
Man.
All right, Xavier, let's just get to your question.
I got you, Chris. So quick question, for Regis. You have this opponent right now. You've come off a tough loss with Josh Taylor, and you have Marios Barrios fighting with the WBA title. With this, I guess, if you're successful with this win against your opponent right now, is your focus on going after Barrios, or is your focus to just continue to just catch wins and continue to be the undisputed super lightweight champion?
That's a good question, bro. It depends. It depends on what they offer me. You know what I'm saying? First off, I do got a tough fighter for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm focused on this dude on the screen right here. I'm focused on Juan Heraldez. To be honest, I'm not really worried about too much. It's a lot of things on the table for me. I know that after this, but I got to get past this first. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing I got to do past this. But, since you asked the question, I don't know. Maybe the Barrios fight. I do want to be a world. I yearn to be a world champion again at 140. I definitely want to be a world champion again at 140 before I move up to 147. That is a plan. So I definitely want to do that. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like the boxing, the landscape in boxing changes so much. It's just like it's kind of hard to predict. I do want to be a champion again at 140 first before I move up. But the boxing landscape changes so much. You just never know what's gonna happen. So. I don't know, bro. Whatever they offer me, I guess that's what I'm gonna do. But I want to be a champion again at 140.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Xavier. Okay, let's go to our next question. Julianus. You can unmute, Julius, and ask your question.
Hi. Hi, Regis. I have heard that you and Leonard have said that you want to make a statement with this fight and send a message to the top guys of the division. Which one is the top guy you want more to hear the message? Bronner, Prograis, Taylor, Ramirez? Which one is the one you want more to fight after Heraldez? Bronner?
You actually mentioned me. You said Prograis. I can't send a message to myself. But whatever.
Who is the number one super lightweight?
It was hard to understand, but I understand what you said. But who is the top guy? I feel like I'm the top guy, bro. But to who send a message, you know what I'm saying? I just want to be a champion again. Whatever they set up for me, bro. They got a lot. They do have a lot of people out there right now. You got Broner, you got Josh Taylor, you got Ramirez. I always feel like me and Josh Taylor, we're gonna fight each other again. No matter what, we have to fight. The fight was just too close. It was too much of a big deal. It was too much of an event out there in the UK for that fight not to happen again. So that fight definitely has to happen again. Ramirez, I definitely always want to fight him. I feel like he ducked me for a little while, and then I went in the tournament and stuff like that. So in the Broner fight, I think that's definitely gonna be a huge fight. So all those names, all the names you named, that's who I'll kind of be looking for. But one step at a time, just like everybody keep asking me, it's one step, one at a time, and it's Juan Heraldez first.
Thank you very much, Regis.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to Carlos Toro. Carlos, go ahead.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, gentlemen, for taking time to talk to us. First question to Juan. Obviously the 140-pound division is just loaded with talent, not just with the champions, but with the contenders and the number of prospects that are rising. Now, how much of this fight do you kind of look at it as not just a way to get a win over a top guy such as Regis Prograis, but also just kind of make a statement and announce yourself to the 140-pound division, especially coming off of the fight against Argenis Mendes?
Honestly, after this fight, I think everybody would be in fear of me at 140. It'd probably be a little harder to find me a fight after this fight with Regis.
Regis, just real quick, obviously the fight against Josh Taylor, very, very close, very competitive fight. In the year that you spent sort of looking back on that fight, was there something that you kind of thought to yourself, okay, that fight maybe showed me there was a couple of things that I need to work on a little bit more? And do you think that we should expect to see maybe some alterations to your game or anything that you may have improved in the year since that fight?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely, I need to improve on a lot of things. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like going to the fight, I question myself if I can fight 12 hard rounds. Go to war for 12 hard rounds, and I did it. I only did 12 rounds before against Terry Flanagan, but that was a boxing lesson. I didn't really do 12 hard rounds, But with me and Josh Taylor, we fought 12 hard rounds, So it was kind of a question in my head. Now, now I know that I can fight for 12 hard rounds, and believe me, Josh Taylor is a very, very big puncher, and I took his punches just like it was nothing. And as far as like things I need to work on, I guess we'll see. But I've definitely been working. It's crazy because I actually had like 4 fights that fell out. So I kind of been in training camp this whole time since before the corona started. I kind of been in training camp. I had a lot of fights that just basically didn't happen. So I mean, I've been working the whole time, working on a lot of different things, and I've been busting my ass. Like I said, my thing, I yearn to be back at the number 1 at 140. And I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get to that number 1 spot again.
And speaking a little bit on the training that you've had throughout this year, obviously in preparation for this specific fight, how much of it did you have to sort of do or adjust as far as balancing how much you have to train to avoid maybe overtraining? Because as you mentioned, you've been training a lot throughout the whole year because, there have been fights that you were supposed to have, and for one reason or another it didn't happen. So how much of it for this camp did you have to sort of think to yourself, okay, I should probably rein in a little bit just to avoid overtraining?
Not really. I mean, they got overtraining, bro, but when training camps, I kept training the whole time. I kept training, but training camp is always different, So when I'm not training, I probably train like once or twice a day, and when I'm in training camp, like 3 to 4 times a day. So I had breaks and stuff like that, so it wasn't like I was training the whole time without any breaks. I took some trips. I traveled, I had to go to New Orleans a few times, and I did some little trips to rest my body and stuff like that. But for this particular fight, it was, I trained, I think it was like 8-9 week training camp, and that was it.
Thanks, Regis, and thanks, Juan. Best of luck to the both of you come October 31st.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you to Regis, and thank you, Juan. We appreciate it.
Thank y'all, man. Have a good one.
Ray, back to you.
Thank you very much, Chris. And just to go ahead and button up that matchup, we can't forget Juan Heraldez was victorious over Jose Miguel Borrego back on the undercard of Mayweather-McGregor. Looked outstanding. Borrego was wiping through opponents, and Juan Heraldez went ahead and got the victory by unanimous decision victory. Also, he stopped Eddie Ramirez on Showtime Countdown live on the YouTube digital platform. And for Regis Prograis, he is a veteran of the Showbox series. He went ahead and became a world champion following being with that series. And again, just going to add to the long list of fighters who have fought in Showbox and become world champions. Now let's talk about a world championship co-main event that'll come your way on Halloween night on Showtime pay-per-view. Do not miss it. It's all being brought to you by Mayweather Promotions, TGB Promotions, GTD Promotions, and Santa Cruz Boxing Club. Order it live on Showtime pay-per-view on Halloween night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time.